In September 1787, the United States of America ratified the Constitution. This Constitution holds within it the rules and regulations for a government that would prove to last to the current day, over 200 years. Within this document is another set of rules and regulations called the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights tells the citizens of America their rights and freedoms. These amendments have been the subject of serious debate throughout the centuries. But there's one clause in these amendments that hasn't seen the exact same attention that some of the others have. We've all heard of the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. We've all heard of the freedom of speech, and we've all heard of the freedom of press. But there's one other clause, this little clause that isn't very well known. The right to peaceably assemble. But what does this mean? What does it mean to peaceably assemble? To peaceably assemble is to protest in a manner that is safe for you and the others around you. We are given the right to make change and to fight for change, as long as we don't hurt other individuals while we're at it. Now, the right to peaceably assemble is a very intricate system with many players. We have mediators, aggressors, targets. Each of these parts plays a critical role, but there's one role that is vital for this system to work properly: the mediator. Now, what is a mediator? A mediator is someone who stands in between conflict and come to a peaceful resolution between two parties. Why is this mediator so important? We can look to history for this answer. In the late 20th century, America was in turmoil. We had the Vietnam War, the scandals over Nixon, and it was a political turmoil. But we also had the civil rights movement. What was this? It was a protest against the ways minorities were treated. But that's not the full story. There was the civil rights movement. They sought to peaceably assemble, to march and make their protest known, to discuss this issue and come to an agreement. But this is only one side of the coin. There's another side. The Black Power movement. This group was led by radicals, including people like Malcolm X. They were known for violence. They believed that the only way they'd receive their rights was if they took their rights by force. And so their protests included all of the actions that the people they were fighting against used. They hurt others. These movements show two sides of the coin. The civil rights movement assembled peacefully and they protested and they made change happen. The Black Power movement assembled, but they were not peaceful. And their efforts didn't help to advance their cause. Now let's look at a more recent occurrence. In the state of Nevada, there was an issue. A landowner by the name of Bundy was in trouble with the BLM. And he wasn't happy about it. So he gathered a bunch of friends. They came together for a protest because what they believed the BLM was not right in their actions. Both sides of this conflict were armed, but no shots were fired. Still a peaceable assembly. Now, who stood in between any of these conflicts? Law enforcement. Law enforcement was our mediator during this Bundy episode. They kept the peace and ensured that people on each side were safe. Let's look back to our civil rights and Black Power movement. Why wasn't the Black Power movement successful, and why did it take the civil rights movement so long? They didn't have that mediator. Law enforcement didn't act as a mediator. They acted as an aggressor. These two situations could have escalated, and in the civil rights movement, it did. It ended in terror and death for many. And in the other, we reached an agreement. It's vital and important to recognize this mediator and the importance of this right to peaceably assemble. Thank you.